Okay, I made a short video and then I realized I had more to say, so I'm making a bigger video. Bigger, longer, whatever. Pick the word you like. Um, yeah. But the topic that crossed my mind was, so a lot of the times when we are automatically wanting to not trust somebody, meaning they've given us no reason to not trust them. Their behavior has never once indicated they're untrustworthy. They're just, it's maybe not even their character to be untrustworthy. Maybe they're naturally very, very honest people. But we, for some reason, we don't even know why, we're feeling like, I can't trust you. I don't trust you. And you want to test them. You want to make them prove that they're trustworthy. When you get that feeling, and I want you to keep in mind, this is not the same as the intuitive sensation that you're in danger and somebody's lying to you. This is not the same thing. This is like almost like you're acting out of a place of fear, out of a place of anxiety. There's a knot. There's a sensation in your gut that feels kind of sick. It's like, no, they have to be lying. They have to be faking. They can't be real. Right? That feeling. That's a direct reflection that you're not being honest with yourself about something about yourself. When we don't allow ourselves to be authentic, when we don't allow ourselves to genuinely be the person in our heart that our higher self knows we are going to project that onto other people. And when someone else is being authentic, that's probably when we're going to most want to attack them and tell them that they're faking and being a liar. But it's because we're not being authentic. And that can be hard to address because, I watched my family, and honestly, there's still, I think, resentment and bitterness between some family members because for so long, the people in my family who were gay or lesbian hid their sexuality. And I felt terrible because, I don't think anyone should have to hide who they are. And if you as a person can resonate with that you don't want anyone to have to hide who they are, you really have to stop hiding who you are from you more than anyone. Even if you're not ready to show the world, you have to stop hiding yourself from yourself. And there might be some scary things in there that you don't want to admit just yet. Honestly, I think one of the things that bothers me the most is how a lot of men because they don't talk about this, right? Because men are shamed into thinking they are supposed to like all sexual experiences. And so a lot of men who've been assaulted or abused, taken advantage of, right? I'm sure you guys have heard the stories of older girls taking out young, drunk teenage boys, like young, 12, 13, and having their way with them. And the girls are like 18, 19, and they think that they should be allowed to be able to do that. The guy wants it. It's not right. It's fucking wrong, right? And then and then of course, if they're abused at any point in their childhood, they're going to probably really struggle with their sexuality to begin with. But then as a grown man, if it turns out that they genuinely are gay, how do they, you know what I mean? Like, how are they going to balance that inside of themselves after feeling guilt and shame for so long and not having anyone there to tell them it wasn't their fault? Having someone tell them that it doesn't matter what that person did to you back then. That wasn't a you thing, that was a them thing. And that you're still allowed to be yourself because you're perfect as you are. Yeah, it just gets really confusing for men and women. Women are the same thing. I've seen lots of women in my family, whereas I honestly wonder if, maybe not my family, but I had some friends that I honestly wonder if their childhood experiences with men were different, if they wouldn't have decided that they never wanted to date a man again. And I think a lot of us do have that trauma, right? We struggle with it. And so that's when you do have to go in and heal all those wounds. You still may never want to date a man again. That's okay. It happens. Or you may never want to date a woman again. It happens, right? But just know, though, if you are struggling with other people who are being authentic and it's upsetting you, it's like almost offensive and you can't even figure really out why. It's like, why is this person pissing me off? They're actually not a bad person. Maybe you even find them funny. Maybe you even like their topics that they talk on, but for some reason they just piss you right the fuck off. And you want to call them a liar and you want to attack their character. that is your sign that there's some truths you're hiding from yourself that you haven't been willing to admit about yourself to yourself. Because once you start being 100% honest with yourself about yourself, it's going to be really hard to not be authentic. And then you're going to learn that you actually are perfect just as you are. And not only are you perfect as you are, you're exactly how you're meant to be. You're not meant to be anybody but yourself. And that is beautiful. And you are enough just as you are being yourself. So when you feel that need to criticize or judge somebody because they are being authentic and it's really hurting you, that's your higher self calling to you, saying, see what they're doing? I want you to do that too. Yes, you're going to have to go through the fear first. Yes, it might feel very uncomfortable. It might even fucking hurt a lot. But let me tell you, the pain is just the breaking of the old pattern. And once you break the old pattern and let it go and release it, you make room for a new one to form. And once you integrate it and anchor it into yourself, you're going to feel so much better. Because it's like, imagine, the best way I can give you a visualization. Sorry, but I think I need more water. My tongue is not working. Okay. Think about games that have those, mana vessels or whatever. I used to have this game I played all the time. I forget the name of it, but it had this different types of mana. And once the vessels filled up, that type of magic would level up. Okay? Every time you get rid of a pattern that's not serving your highest good and integrate a new healed pattern or a modified version of the pattern or a new pattern completely. Think about it like this. Think about another way to look at it too is Inside and Out. We all have core patterns, right? Like Inside Out, they had core memories, and as the child was developing, the core memories would be modified or replaced, and it was that was the core part of who made up her, right? The girl. We're like the same way. And sometimes what happens is as we fill up certain energies or certain emotions, we level up certain parts of ourselves. And it can feel like that expansion, that stretching can feel uncomfortable. And often we grieve the loss of the old pattern as we integrate the new pattern. And that's where I love that whole Maya Angelou thing, where the sweet spot. Because as you're releasing the old pattern that's no longer serving you, which kind of hurts and doesn't always feel great, and you're integrating the new pattern that serves your highest good and connects you better to yourself, makes you feel more authentic, more at home, more safe, there is a sweet spot in there as you heal. And that's the beauty. That's the magic right there, baby. That's the juice. So just remember, it's not a bad or a good thing. You're not a bad person just because that person's triggering you. You're not evil because you don't appreciate their authenticity. It just is a sign that you have things you got to work on, just like the rest of us, right? Some people totally piss me off too sometimes. And I'm like, oh, I'll be all nice to them. And then I think maybe I won't be nice to them. And then my daughter's like, well, your face is telling us what you're thinking. Don't look at me. Okay. Anyways, just, be kind to yourself regardless. And it's okay if you get triggered by somebody. Just take your time with it. And when you're ready, face it. And it'll help you grow. Anyways, have a great day. Okay, bye.